What do you think about, child actors today? Like people coming up with social media, like, do you think it's harder or easier?
Kind of like social media celebrities in my world. Sorry about that, man. But I like the things that I understand. So I like auditioning. It's funny because my job's here is over in 3 years, and I'm going to get an agent again in Los Angeles and go for some parts. It'll be really, really fun. But I like the fact that you have to put in the work. I like being clever because I walk in with a bad throat and 5'6". But if you need somebody clever that looks remotely like me, I'm going to get that job when I get back to Los Angeles. Matter of fact, if you know anybody, set me up. Although it's 3 years away.
I will hook you up when you're done with your radio gig. Are you planning to like leave Seattle then and go live in LA full time if you get a
I
job?
love, I love Seattle, but I can't leave fast enough. And that's nothing bad about Seattle. It is about the weather, and uh, I have a real aversion to being cold. I shake. It's awful. So I'll be
I
ready
get
now.
it.
I'll show you. But you're in New York City, right?
Horrible weather here. We have October, November, and December. You put up with it because it's the holidays and it's festive.
Right.
Otherwise, the summers are miserable and the winters are worse. So it's like,
How glad are you that you got to say that you take anything from the show, and I have this. I prepared for you all night, apparently.
listen, that I think is that, I mean, would you rather have that or would you rather have the $25,000 of,
Oh, I'd rather have this, but there's something different. Is I have $25,000. I don't have to do that. But David has $25,000. He still stole them. I think there's something fun about having the thing that you are in your possession. You stole. I think that's a good time.
and the thing you had to like remove from the door? I mean, it's not even like you stole it. It's like a complicated steal.
No, the thing with screwdrivers, I don't think they had electric screwdrivers back then. My mom's not to be this way.
What advice would you give like child actors coming up now that are starting around when you started?
I would say the big thing, and if they want to ask me about acting, I guess I could pull that one off. Big one, it's just boring as hell. Save your money. Absolutely save your money. Pay yourself for Shirley Jones' late husband, Marty Engels, came up to me at one point. He really liked me. He's a big fan. And he said, pay yourself first. Get what you can live with, and the minimum you can live with, and then pay yourself the rest. And you know what? That was fine information from that guy. And he was a maniac. I didn't know he could ever be right, but he was also funny and correct.
It's just like save that money.
Save that money because if you're not lucky, if you show up with another skill like me in radio, if you're just Danny Partridge in the truck, it doesn't change. It doesn't change. You don't have any more education than you did. You're not more clever than you were. So yeah, save your money.
What about when you see children that are like, 2, 3, I think of like the Olsen twins now. I mean, you clearly didn't say you wanted to do this at 3 years old. I mean, you don't have so what do you say then? Like when people's parents are obviously putting them in this.
Right?
So then when someone, I think says, wait, I don't want to do this and I'm 5 or however old.
Are they remotely good? Are they talented youngsters?
Well, yeah, and I guess in this scenario, sure.
Go, 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 go. And if it's not your dream, it's your job. Do it till the thing runs out. We'll do it while you're going. What's her face? Ellen Bollock is an actual neuroscientist. It's not all dark water, man. People can really pull through.
And now she's back acting again, too.
Yeah, and making get ready, $1 million per episode. That's a week, $1 million a week. They all just agreed when they were going to go into negotiations. Why don't you just give us all $1 million till this show's over and next year? They went, yeah, okay. And everybody on that show got $1 million per episode.
For Big Bang Theory.
And it's a good sportsmanship of that. The lead character, what's his name? Do you know?
Johnny Galecki.
No, he's very
Jim Parsons.
Yeah, that guy did not have to be saying no. Give me 5 million and give them all 300,000. But he did not do that. They've done that in a couple shows that I'm a fan of. Friends ended up $1 million an episode at the end. I was talking to Matthew Perry. I want to say the other day, it was a couple of years ago actually, and he said he was giving him not a speech, but you could tell it was important to what he said. And he said, I can't believe it. I wasn't going to show up for the set, and I was mad at Julia Roberts, and I threw up at the Academy Awards. But but I have an extra $170 million. But at some point, where does it go? What? It goes into my pockets. That's where it should go. $170 million for a hack actor. Although I happen to think he was the most talented one on the show.
Wait, he wasn't going to show up where because he was mad at Julia Roberts.
Well, that's the Academy Awards, and then the last season of Friends. He said, "I just can't do it. I'm not going to do it." But he had already done it. This was a tale in retrospect. He had already done it. But why should that guy have $170 million? That seems crazy. And I look up net worths all the time. It's my hobby. Or hobby. Sex and drugs. No. Now I say John Gielgud, net worth.
I look up net worth quite often too. Do you think those are accurate?
I think we're twins. I don't take the first one and go. I take the first one. I see how many match up to that, and so often I find them to be correct. And you know, bugs me a lot. A lot of the Bradys have money. How is that? How is that even possible? I'm the talent. I'm the guy. How do you guys have money?
I never looked up the Brady's, but I guess I'll have to.
Yeah, yeah.
What Brady's have the money? Like Maureen McCormick, I would
No,
assume.
uh, two people's moms bought them beach houses, and they were really good, and they hung on to them, and just sold two of the people sold them for $5 million each. Hang on one second.
Oh wow. Well, there you go. And then I was going to ask you why was Matthew Perry mad at Julia Roberts?
They were boyfriend and girlfriend for a while, and I bet she caught on that he's always going to be high and drunk, and she didn't like it. So he had this big fight with her a long time before it happened. And he remembers he was at rehab, and he's telling me the story in the same rehab that he did this. He said, he looks up and there's Julia Roberts hosting the Academy Awards, and he says, with white crap in the corner of his mouth, he says, I'll take you back. Good story right there. Like, what is it worth you to have what you wanted? And he seems to be, according to, because he was, when I was in rehab, and I don't think he'll mind me telling the story because it's a good story, he was graduating rehab at that moment. So I'm going in, he's coming out. And he goes and talks to somebody. And he comes back and he said, "Come here, get in the car." I could probably take this guy. How weird's it going to be? He goes, "Listen, for the next 30 days, I'm your driver. If you have an appointment with your lawyer or the courts, I'll take you." And he did. So whatever you hear about that guy, he gave up a month of his life to drive me around town on legal matters, psychiatric things. He's a good guy. Just here, he's in real trouble now, and that's a drag.
Yeah, that is a drag. And he wanted Julia Roberts back when he was there in rehab, and he sees she's hosting the Academy Awards.
Yeah, she's the real deal. He's an Academy Award and an Academy Award winner, and he can't get out of the bathroom. So yeah, it's a good story. So give me 1 second here, for God's sake.
Sure, man. Take your time.
Thank you. Why can I get? Because in 2 seconds I'm going to give this up.
Yeah, I'm so curious.
Barry Williams net worth. You're about to have your answer, man. I think it's going to be 6. Barry Williams has $6 million. Not bad for a guy, he lives in Branson now with his wife that he apparently really likes, and things worked out for that guy. I don't wish the Bradys a lot of success, but he lives in Branson, he does his job, and God love him.
Did you feel like, say it again?